Praise the Lord. My name is Evangelist Seth Olale, and today I want to continue addressing and giving advice to Gen Z or Generation Z. As the situation in Kenya is still full of tension, I'm seeing reports that some people are planning to march to State House. I don't know whether it is going to be a peaceful march to State House or whether they are planning to storm State House. But my advice to Gen Z is that nobody should deceive you to march to State House to force the President of Kenya to step down or to evacuate State House. That is a high security zone, and I'm speaking to you as a preacher and evangelist and also as a father. The most important thing is to preserve your life. Don't let anybody cheat you to tackle the government head-on. The government has got no soul. Just like somebody said that the computer has got no soul. The government has got no soul. There are three things in life that you must fear. The first one is you must fear God. The second one, you must fear the government. The third one, you must fear hunger. Those three things have got no mercy. If you fall on the hands of God, no one can rescue you. If you fall on the hands of an angry God, no one except Jesus can rescue you. So, in the same way, if you fall in the hands of the government, nobody can rescue you. And also, if you fall in the hands of hunger, nobody can rescue you from hunger. Unless you are given food, nobody can rescue you from hunger. So those three things, hunger, you must fear hunger. You also must fear the government. And you also must fear God. Those three things have got no mercy. So as much as Gen Z, you have got legitimate grievances, and the government and politicians of Kenya have let you down, you must be very wise. The first thing is to preserve your life. There are people who have gone through terrible things, even than what Gen Z is going through. And they are still alive, and they are moving on with their lives. There are people whose husbands have been killed and their lands taken away, and they are still moving on with life. There are people who have been shot dead by robbers, by gangs, and they are still moving on with life. There are people who have been, women who have been raped and gang raped. And it is tragic that some of these women have not even gotten justice. Their rapists have moved on, and the law never took its course. There are people who have their lands have been grabbed, their parents killed. Bad things have happened to people. So as much as the government was planning to increase the tax in Kenya, it was a cruel thing. But that is not enough to make you lose your life. Don't let anybody, no matter how famous he is, cheat you that you go to State House. You march to State House. Don't let anybody, no matter how famous he is, whether it is a politician or whether it is a television celebrity or a musician or a comedian or a political activist, don't let anybody cheat you to march to State House to go and cause violence and even try and force the president to step down. You will be risking your life. And the army, the military have got no mercy. They are given orders and they obey orders. Whether they are good orders or bad orders, the military, their work is to obey the orders they get from above. So if you are going to demonstrate confine yourselves and demonstrate in the city and demonstrate peacefully. But don't let anybody cheat you to march to State House to confront the presidency. You're being deceived to commit suicide. You'll be the government has got no mercy. And if you don't know the times you are living in, we are living in the end times. The rise of the beast or the Antichrist is now imminent. And the Antichrist is now coming to power across the world. And his seat is going to be in the United States of America, inside the White House. The beast is now about to take power. Immediately, President Joe Biden leaves office. Kamala Harris will be sworn in, and she will rule America for a short season. And then after Kamala Harris has stepped down, we are going to see the Antichrist and the beast coming to power in the United States. And the beast is now the one that is controlling the world. And we are living in the end times. And the government of the beast, the one world government of the beast and the Illuminati, it will have no mercy. And it is now the one that is causing problems around the world. The beast or the Antichrist is the one that is now fighting against Russia. And Russia is a superpower, a nuclear superpower. And it is the beast that started this war in Ukraine in 2014, when the beast overthrew the government of Ukraine. Go and find out who was the president of America in 2014 when the government of Ukraine was overthrown. The government of Ukraine was overthrown by the beast. And who was the president of America in 2014? And this is now the war between Ukraine and Russia, where now America has also been entangled together with NATO. This thing is now escalating into a third world war. Over 600,000 people have been killed in Ukraine because the beast is now fighting against Russia. And even this finance bill that was brought into Kenya by the government, this was the work of the beast who controlled the IMF and the beast who controlled the World Bank. And that the people who forced the government to bring in this dangerous finance bill into our parliament, and even when our MPs were voting voting to allow the finance bill to sail through, the politicians from Babylon were inside the Kenyan parliament supervising our parliamentarians. This is the beast system we are dealing with. And the beast will have no mercy. So, my advice to young men, as much as you have got grievances, the most important thing is to preserve your life. Don't let anybody cheat you that you're going to be a hero once you've been shot in the head. That is nonsense. You ni ujinga tupu. That is a lie of the devil. Stay in your homes. If you're going to demonstrate peacefully, without looting or without destroying property. But somebody lying to you that you go to State House and you force the president to resign, that is suicide. That is suicide. Miba ya kujidunga awambiwi pole. If you inflict a wound on yourself, nobody is going to tell you sorry. So my advice to Gen Z, don't let anybody deceive you that you march to State House to go and cause chaos. The army has got no soul. They take orders from above, whether the orders are good or whether the orders are evil. Their job is to preserve the state. And the state has got no soul. So my advice to Gen Z, do all you can. Like I was happy yesterday, you had a very good concert at Uhuru Park, which was very peaceful. And I thank God that God preserved you. And also thank God that there was no violence.
So those are the type of protest that we want. We don't want you tackling the government head on, because you people, you are still young. Some of us were there in 1982 when university students were celebrating when the government was about to be overthrown. Some of them left university and they went and hijacked Kenya bus, and some of them were shot. All of them were shot dead inside that bus at Uhuru Highway by the Kenya Army. If they had not left university, right now those people will be alive now with their children and with their wives and with their grandchildren. But they were killed because they were quick to celebrate. Anything to do with overthrowing the government, that is fire. Unimoto, that is death. You are now facing death. Anything to do with marching to State House to try to remove a sitting president, that is death. Don't let anybody cheat you that you will die a hero. Nonsense, that is nonsense. Those young men who were shot in the head, they died and they'll never come back alive. Their destiny has ended. They'll never marry. They'll never have any jobs. All their future has been stolen. They'll not have children. And then they tell you that you're a hero. Don't let anybody cheat you. Hard times are coming to the world. Gen Z, you have seen nothing. I'm sorry to say this. Gen Z, you have seen nothing. Gen Z in Kenya, hamjona kitu, hamjona shida. Hard times are coming upon the world. Because as I have told you in my previous videos, World War III is coming to the world. Probably by 2025, the world will have entered World War III. Once World War III begins in the Middle East, and also in Ukraine, in Europe, what is going to happen to the economy of the world? Once America goes to war with Russia, because it is going to go to that extent, it is coming. What will happen when Iraq, what will happen when Israel and Iran and Hezbollah go to war, and all the Arabs go to war against Israel? The oil refineries, the petroleum refineries in the Middle East will be destroyed, which means that there will be no petrol for many countries around the world. So instead of buying petrol for 140 Kenya shillings per liter, you'll be buying petrol at 1,000 Kenya shillings per liter. You have not seen anything yet. What is coming to the world is devastating. It is devastating. I'm sorry to tell you, but I'm telling you the truth. Once the war between Israel and Iran and Hezbollah and other Arab nations escalate by end of this year, 2024, or by 2025, you are going to see real chaos around the world. When motorists will be trying to get petrol from petrol stations, there will be no petrol stations. There will be no cooking gas around the world. And you'll be buying petrol at probably 1,000 Kenya shillings per liter. Forget about finance bill. This is now what is coming around the world. Because these are the last days and the Antichrist is coming to power. And the Antichrist cannot come to power unless there is global chaos. That is why they are causing chaos around the world. The Antichrist cannot come to power unless there is global chaos. And there must be a lot of bloodshed. Remember in the Bible, when Adam sinned by eating the fruit that they were not supposed to eat, God cursed Adam. And God told Adam that from now onwards, you will earn your living by the sweat of your brow. God cursed the ground, and Adam was cursed that by the sweat of your brow, by hard work, that is how you are going to earn your living. And then God cursed Eve, the wife of Adam, because Eve also is the one that spoke to the devil, to the serpent. God cursed Eve that from now onwards, you will be bearing children with hard labor, with birth pains. That was the curse that God gave to Eve. And then God turned to the devil, the serpent, Satan, the dragon. God cursed the serpent that because you deceived Eve and Adam, from now onwards you'll be crawling on your belly, and from now onwards you will eat the dust of the earth. That was the curse that God gave to Satan, that he will be eating the dust of the earth. What did God mean by saying that the devil will be eating the dust of the earth? It means that the food of Satan is the flesh and blood of human beings. Remember that man was created from the dust. And God said, from dust you came, and to dust you shall return. Therefore, the only thing that sustains the devil is the blood of human beings, which he drinks through war, through genocide, through civil wars, through domestic violence, through murder, through shooting, through robbery, and through killings. The devil survives by drinking the blood of human beings. That was the curse that God gave him, that you shall eat the dust of the earth. The dust of the earth, that was a prophetic and figurative language that God was using. That the devil and his kingdom, they shall be sustained by eating human beings. That was the curse that God gave him. That is why all governments in the world, they shed blood. All governments and many political leaders, they survive by shedding human blood. So wewe unaambiwa uende kwa barabara kudemonstrate, uende State House. You are playing with fire. These demonstrations by Gen Z started very well, but it seems they have been infiltrated by the Illuminati and also by goons. So you even don't know who we are dealing with. So you have to be very, very careful that you don't end up being sacrificed by some of these people who have now infiltrated Kenya. Because some of them are working for the Illuminati, some of them are working for organizations from America, some of them are working for funny organizations. You have to be very, very careful. If you're demonstrating, demonstrate peacefully. Don't let anybody try and tell you that you're going to force the president to step down. Don't let anybody tell you that you're going to remove the president from power by force. Because the country will burn to ashes. Remember what happened in Syria. They said that the president of Syria, Assad, must resign. And they demonstrated and they tried to overthrow him. The army came in and the army started killing people. And hundreds of thousands of Syrians were killed. And millions of people from Syria left their country and they are refugees all over the world. Many of them went to Europe. Many of them are living in tents in Turkey, in Jordan, and around the world. The same thing happened to Ukraine in 2014. After the beast removed the government of Ukraine, Ukraine went into civil war from 2014, and over 14,000 people died when the civil war in Ukraine started. And then when Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, up to now, Ukraine has lost over 600,000 men and young boys who have been killed and slaughtered. Because this is the beast system, it must come through the shedding of human blood. The devil must feed on human blood. So that is what is now where they want to force Kenya to go into. The beast is going to cause chaos around the world. I want to tell you another example of what happened in China in 1989. Many of you Gen Zs were not even born by that time. In 1989, the university students in China, they tried to overthrow the government by demonstrating and forcing the communist government to step down. What did the communist government do? They sent the military and tanks into Tiananmen Square. And the students there were crushed, and they were run over by tanks, and they were shot mercilessly, and over 2,000 or even 3,000 students were killed. And the communist government of China, they are still in power up to today. Even up to today, China is still run by the Communist Party, the same party that mercilessly slaughtered students in Tiananmen Square in Beijing. So, Kenya, Gen Z, I'm pleading with you. Demonstrate peacefully, but don't let anybody tell you that you go to State House to force a sitting president to vacate. That is suicide. The beast is now controlling the world. Joe Biden is not controlling the world. The beast is the one controlling the world. And Kenya is a target for them. They cannot allow Kenya to join BRICS. This is why all this nonsense is going on. Kenya cannot be allowed to join BRICS. Because if Kenya joins BRICS, it will be suicidal for the New World Order. So Kenya must be blocked from joining BRICS. This is why all this is happening. President Ruto is caught between a hard rock and a hard place. And I really sympathize with him. Because some of these conditions you are given as a president, and if you refuse, they can cause chaos in your country. Look at what they did to Haiti about 4 years ago. The president of Haiti refused the conditionalities of the New World Order, and he was removed. Look to Tanzania. Hapa tu juzi tu, John Pombe Magufuli, what happened? Salikatama vaccination, what happened to him? Alisindikishwa. So when a president enters power, he's given some very difficult choices as a president. You people on the streets, you don't know. You are given conditions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Na unazungushwa. Wamekuzunguka, hata hawezi toka. This is not about finance bill. This is about Kenya joining the BRICS. They must cause chaos in Kenya. And when Kenya disintegrates, they're going to send in the American army and they'll take over Kenya. So Kenya will be under American occupation and under the occupation of the United Nations. But I'm praying that it will not go to that extent. But that is a plan of the beast. You don't know international politics. Me, I've studied the New World Order and the Illuminati for over 35 years. Illuminati. Me, I started studying and researching about the Illuminati as way back as 1990. And I've got the books and the material with me. These are things your pastors do not teach you. You cannot learn them in college. The war over Kenya is a very big war. It is not a small war. It is a very big fight between the Antichrist and Jesus. So that is a message I'm giving to Gen Z. Be very, very careful. Your life is more important. Don't let anybody cheat you that you are going to be a hero once you've been shot in the head. Hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Hiyo ni uongo tupu. That is a lie. Those who are cowards live long. Those who are cowards live long. I would rather be a coward and I live long to see my grandchildren than to be a hero and then I die at 20 years and then you are buried without a wife. You are not a hero. That is a lie. You are not a hero. You are being deceived. So God bless you and God keep you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.